As we introduced about SnapKit yesterday, I'm going to tell you and show you how to use this framework, and of course that would include several steps. First, import the framework to our current project, and then look at the syntax from the documentation of SnapKit, and then of course applying it to fix our current problem. To set the constraints for several views in our current application. So as mentioned, there are several ways to include a framework to our application. You can use some third-party dependency manager like CocoaPods or Cabbage. And in the future version of Swift, likely you can use the package manager from Swift to include frameworks as well. But right now, to simplify the process, I'm going to use this way as embed the framework. I will first clone the GitHub project of SnapKit as a submodule in our current app folder. So as you can see, I'm in the command line in our current project AutoLayout, and then I'm going to add SnapKit as a submodule of the current repository. Then open my current application folder, and by opening the folder of SnapKit, drag the SnapKit Xcode project to our current Xcode project like this. And then by showing up the project settings of SnapKit, you can see it already has several targets, which means SnapKit can support all the major platforms from all the way from iOS, OSX towards tvOS. And then I'm going to add the SnapKit framework to our current application. But first, make sure I'm taking a look that the deployment target here is the same as the deployment target we set in our current project. In this case, I will just set it to 10.11. And then in the tab of this project, go to build phases. Actually, I should go to AutoLayout application, my main application. Go to build phases, under target dependency, plus the click here, and I'm going to choose SnapKit OSX. So basically, I'm from my main application, I'm going to include the SnapKit framework as a target dependency. So when I build my AutoLayout application, it builds the SnapKit framework as well. Then under the same tab of build phases, click the plus here, and then use the new copy file phases. You see a new copy file is available. You can rename this into anything, say copy frameworks, and then the destination here, we'll set it to frameworks. And then finally add the file here, and then pick SnapKit framework as this one, the one next to OSX. So everything is basically set up. In order to use the framework in our application, go to one of your code file, and then we could put import here, meaning to import a module or framework. In this case, SnapKit. First, try to run the application without doing any other thing. so that it will compile SnapKit framework as well. And now it built successfully. Now is the time to start implementing the code of SnapKit. According to the documentation of SnapKit, in order to start using it, we can set a structure like this. Box is equivalent to our subview. And then after adding the subview of box, we could set the constraints using this function, /makeConstraints. So let's start with our left view. Say left view is here, and then we added the left view. Actually, left view is added through storyboard. So at this point, it is added to the super view already. I can start applying the AutoLayout constraints here using SnapKit /makeConstraints function. In SnapKit, it asks us to provide a block where it could run and create the constraints for us. The block has a variable coming back called make, and we generally set the constraints to make. Say in this case, by copying the idea here, we want to set the top, left, and bottom of the left view, and then I'm going to set a width constraint to left view as well. So first, make to top equal to, we could use view here. View is our current super view. What this means would be for the view I'm setting constraints, I want to set its top equal to view's top. So a lot simpler, right? Compared with the NSLayout constraint object. We can continue with the rest of this, like the left equal to will, bottom equal to will. By running the application, we will see it like this. At the moment, we run the code and set constraints to the left view. However, there is a problem showing up. It is now impossible to resize the window vertically while it works for horizontal. So apparently, the problem comes from the left view, where it is now having the top, left, and bottom sticking to the borders. The constraints are created, but it is not able to resize with the change on height. Let's take a look on the storyboard for the left view. And for this inspector here, we have a message coming out. The selected will have no constraints at the moment, but at build time, explicit left, top, width, and height constraints will be generated for the view. So basically, there is a height constraint created at build time, and we could not override it at this point. Also, from the GitHub issue in SnapKit, actually people and the member from the team is advising that they don't want to support the remaking of the constraints for the views that are created in the interface builder. So in this case, the left will not be a good choice of demonstration. Perhaps it's a bad one. Let's do a demonstration on center view, which is created in code totally. So here, just like before, the way of setting up the constraints, I use center view dot select make constraints. And then this time, I want to say like make dot top dot equal to view, make dot bottom dot equal to view as well. While this view is created totally programmatically, if I only set the constraint for the top and bottom, it is not possible to see the view in the current application, because the two constraints will stretch the view, but the view doesn't have a width, so it is actually showing as a warning if we are viewing it in Interface Builder. Then I'm going to add the width constraint to it, say equals to 60. By running it, this time it shows to the left side because we don't have a left or x coordinate constraint to it. I wanted to show it as center, so why don't we make a constraint of center x equal to view. So basically, if I just provide the view, the UI view or NS view in code application, it will automatically take the same attribute as we specify here. So like top, it will take the views top, bottom will take views bottom. In this case, center x will take views center x, and I want equal to, so apparently it is showing to the center of the parent view. Like this, and this time I can resize it both horizontally and vertically, and as you can see, it works perfect for the center view. This is a quick demo of using SnapKit. If you have any question, feel free to leave me a comment below, and I will see you soon.